Hi. Thank you. Hello, thank you. Thank you so much. Dumelang. I was expecting like a small group. When they said masterclass, masterclass is like 30 people usually. So I get to talk about something that is fun for me to talk about, but very boring for you to listen to, because who likes numbers? Nobody. But if you are in the business of making money, there is this thing called numbers that you have to understand in your business. And Belos here, she's going to give us money. And so at the end of this, I'm going to hopefully give you enough information about the kind of numbers that you need to be aware of in your business, especially when running a business on digital, anything online, in order to get more customers, right? Because that's ultimately what we want to do. But I'm going to caveat that with maybe that might not be what you want to do, because sometimes more customers is not the answer. And so that's what we're going to go through today. So there we go. So the topic of the discussion today is turning numbers into business gold. And we are trying to understand, to know your numbers, right? Which are the numbers in your business, in my personal opinion, that you need to know? So there are thousands of numbers. I'm not an economist. I don't really, even calculations, 30 percentages, I'm just like, yeah. But when it comes to money, I want to know if it's coming in, how much is coming out, etc., etc. So I'm not going to talk about those things, because I think if you're here and you have a business, you generally will know about profit and loss and income statements and the other boring numbers. Today I'm going to talk about 3 other boring numbers. But before I do, Hurisani has introduced me quite eloquently. My name is Nyaki Tshabangu. I am here with my business partner, Kopano, and we run a company called Club She Is. We have to date helped 14,000 women build their businesses across 51 countries. I am passionate about marketing. I am not a marketer by profession. I stumbled into marketing after making R1 million in 6 months on an e-commerce store, after trying it out. And I was like, wait a minute. Okay. I think I know how to do this thing. And so that's what I've been spending my time doing, just improving, replicating, trying to understand how money moves from a complete stranger on the internet or out in the world into my pocket. And so that's what we teach, and that's what we're going to be teaching. So I help business owners turn strangers on the internet, like you guys once were, into customers, which is where we want to be, but also raving fans of your business. And I'll explain why raving fans at the end, because it's going to form part of one of the numbers that we speak about. Okay. So the agenda for today is going to be really short. I don't like to make long slides, but I do like to talk a lot. So when I've got 5 minutes left, can someone just put their hand up? Because otherwise I will just continue. So we're going to talk about why metrics matter. Then I'm going to talk about the 3 metrics that you need to know. And then I'd love to do a questions and answers at the end if there's time. Is that okay? Cool. Just by show of hands, who is in a relationship? Okay, maybe let me do it the other way, just because who is not in a relationship? Okay, everybody look around, everybody single, ready to mingle? You found your people. Okay, that is not the intent of why I'm asking that. So the reason why I'm asking who's in a relationship is because I want you to think about marketing, but also what we call your customer journey as the same way that you found your person. So let me introduce myself, myself through the eyes of my beloved husband. So I'm sitting in my lecture class, very similar to this, and this guy walks into the class, pulls a chair right in front, and he says, "Hi, I'm Ona." "Hi, okay. And that was how he introduced, and then he just leaves. That's how he introduced himself. And then he asks for my number. And I give him my number. A couple days later, he phones, right? Then he asks for, a coffee date or something. Then we go out for coffee. Then after we go out for coffee, asks for another date, right? And then we go on another date. If you guys don't know how to date, this is how it works. Eventually, after many datings, you end up married, right? And that is called a customer journey or a customer relationship journey. And as business owners, we need to, this is not one of the numbers, by the way, as business owners, we ultimately need to understand how to date our customers, right? A lot of us jump in from, hello, I sell this thing. Okay, are you ready to buy now? Right? Missing the whole middle. And so the middle is going to, the numbers that we're going to talk about is going to be the middle that we're going to address. These are the numbers that I think are really important for you to understand in order to know that you are dating your customer, number one, but also dating your customer correctly, number two, and thirdly, you're dating your customer profitably, because what you don't want to do is have an expensive date. Okay, everybody with me? Happy? Okay, so why metrics matter? So 4 reasons why metrics matter, why numbers, why this is important. So number one is it helps us drive informed decisions, right? If you don't know your numbers as a business owner or as an entrepreneur, you aren't able to make decisions. You don't know whether to say yes to opportunities or no to opportunities, right? The second thing is it allows us to optimize marketing efficiencies. So if you do something like this event for the day, you need to know whether or not it was profitable for your business to do this activity so that you can continue to do it or decide not to do it. Okay, so some of the things that we do as business owners are great, and we call them branding exercises, and we'll call them, what's the other one? Networking. But if it's not profitable for us, we do have to, at some point, come to a decision whether or not this is something that we need to do in a business. The third thing it helps us do is that it improves performance. So how we're able to use numbers to improve performance is to say, okay, when I use a blue poster at the networking event versus using a red poster at the networking event, the red poster does better versus the blue poster. That's data that you as a business owner need to understand. And then the fourth one is to measure success. Are we winning? Does this thing make sense for our business? Is it something that we should continue to do? And if we continue to do it, will it improve our business? Okay, so the first number that I want you to understand is your acquisition costs. This one is by far my favorite one. I could speak about customer acquisition costs for the next hour. But what does it do? What is it? It's the cost that it costs. It is the cost that it costs us to acquire a customer. So literally in the name. And this helps us manage profitability. So there's 2 types of customer acquisition costs. The first one is CAC. So this is your customer acquisition cost. And then the second one, I'll go back as well, is your cost per acquisition. So I'm going to go back to customer acquisition cost. So customer acquisition cost, if you like numbers and you want to do a formula, there's the formula there. I don't think I've ever used the formula in my whole life, but if you want it, it's there. But basically your CAC is the number of total customers acquired divided by your marketing plus your cost. So this is the entire I suppose the cost that it costs you to acquire customers. So from your sales to your marketing to your operations, how much does it cost for your business to get one customer, right? When you hire a salesperson, that person forms part of your CAC cost. When you are doing these sort of events, when you go to a networking event and you have to have banners and posters, that forms part of your CAC cost. And so you as a business owner need to know ultimately what it costs to acquire that from the holistic point of view, right? The second one, which is the one that I prefer and I like, this is the one that I sit on the most, is your cost per acquisition. So this is your CPA. So if you've ever done anything on digital, anything online, digital, social media, anything like that, this is going to be one of the most important metrics that you need to understand. The reason why is because if I know as a business owner, it costs me, and I'm going to give you real numbers. So I have a client, her name is Balisa. Balisa is a speaking coach. Her product that we sell online is 450 Rand. She sells it's a mini course. It's a 2-hour course. She sells it's a 450 Rand course. It costs her, so her CPA on that, as far as Facebook or Meta ads is concerned, is 132 Rand. So in order for her to make 450 Rand selling this course, it costs her 132 Rand to give the machine, Facebook. If we want 450,000 Rand revenue, how much money do we need to spend on advertising to get the 450,000 Rand? I'm not going to do the numbers, but you guys get what I'm saying, right? What? 132,000. There we go. Thank you. She's my business. She's the numbers. 132,000. So you go to F&B and you say, F&B, I need 132,000 because my CPA is 132 Rand, customer per acquisition, cost per acquisition, which means I am going to revenue 450,000 Rand. Why would F&B say no? Literally, why would they say no? They always do below, but they say they always do. But these are the numbers that you have, right? You are able to, as a business, if you know, and I'm telling you for certain, I tell Palesa on a monthly basis, Palesa, what's your target for the month? 100,000. She gives me the money on the other side. We put it in the machine, Facebook machine. CPA doesn't change. It changes sometimes, but CPA doesn't vary too much. And we spit out a number at the end of the month consistently. And so you are then able to consistently generate revenue consistently because you understand your customer acquisition cost. Okay, make sense? Do you want to do questions in between or at the end? At the end? Okay. Yeah, so CPA is a big number if you run any kind of social media campaign. So if you run Facebook ads or Google ads or any kind of advertising, your CPA is going to be really, really important as far as numbers goes. Okay, helpful? CPA, acquisition cost. Okay, the second metric. The second metric that we like to focus on, and this is going to help you as far as business development, product development, is the customer lifetime value. So CLV, this is the revenue that you get from a customer over the relationship of your business. So this helps you set sustainable CAC, which is the customer acquisition cost, and predict growth, helps with product development and customer service. So your customer lifetime value says, if I get a customer, it costs me 132 Rand to get a customer. I'll use Palesa again as an example. So it costs Palesa 132 Rand to get a customer. She sells a product for 450 Rand, which means my profit on that thing is, I don't know, it's a little, it's not that much. But once a person is your customer, right? I'm going to go back to the relationship. Once you've got the girl's number, how many times can you call her? As many times as you've got something to offer, right? As many times as you have something to offer. Because boys, by the way, girls don't like it when you call them and you say nothing. And that's what we do sometimes as business owners, right? You just phone and you're just like, hi, so, yeah, no, right? We want intent. And so as business owners, what the customer lifetime value does is that it allows us to think holistically about our business and the offering that we're able to put in front of customers that we've already acquired. F&B is great at this. You walk into F&B and you say, F&B, I want a student loan or a student account. So they say, okay, how much is student loan? 29 Rand. 29 Rand a month. Cool. Then after 5 years, F&B is like, oh, Papa, you're not a student anymore. We need you to be on premium, right? Now you're not paying 29 Rand anymore. Now you're paying 59 Rand. And then you get your first job and then F&B can see that someone phones you and says, okay, no, we're actually going to offer you private, right? It only costs F&B 132 Rand to get you. The lifetime value of you as a customer to F&B far exceeds what it costs them to acquire you. And so for us as business owners, we need to consider what the lifetime value of our customer is and develop products in between that are going to ascend our customer into paying us more, giving us more of their money, right? So Hurisani used the example of the cake lady. Okay, you sell scones, but I also sell birthday cakes, but I also sell wedding cakes. It costs me 132 Rand to acquire you as a customer who sells you scones, But if I continuously engage with you from a marketing perspective, if I'm continuously dating you as my customer, I can reap more than the initial 132 Rand that it cost you to acquire, right? And so we need to think about holistically in my product line and in the services that I offer, how can I upsell? How can I continue to get more money out of the same customer? Because I will tell you, the cheapest customer is the one you already have. And I know a lot of us are just like, yeah, but I need more customers. Sometimes you don't need more customers. Sometimes you just need to sell more things to the customers that you already have. And so this is what the lifetime value of our customer is saying. It's saying, have we exceeded and have we capped and have we extended the value offering that we have for our business? And so I'm not saying because you sell scones, now you must also sell computers, because obviously that's not going to make sense. But finding and ascending, so this is a really great a product ascension chart that shows like entry service, top tier service. So maybe you do scones, but maybe you can do a cooking class, or I can teach you how to bake scones, right? Or I do scones and I will also deliver them, right? So how are we able to ascend our customer by understanding our CLV? Almost done. Then our conversion rate. Okay, so conversion rate talks about the percentage of customers who take the action that we put in front of them. This is like super important, super important, because what you don't want as a business owner is to be I think the Bible calls it like a clanging of cymbals and a gong, right? You're just there making noise. Just making noise, just posting. I'm posting, Nyaki, every day I'm posting on social media, but I'm not getting customers. Why? Because you're posting and praying, right? If that's your strategy, please come speak to me afterwards. I'd love to get to know you and change your life. If your conversion rate is lacking, there's going to be very little that you can do from a product perspective that is going to improve your business. Ultimately, what you need to do is improve the conversions, right? It's about the messaging. It's about how do you actually get people to buy. So if we're a room of 100 people here and I talk about my product and I'm only getting one person to buy, the resolve or what I need to do is I actually need to do something with myself to get 5 people to buy. The problem is not that there's not more people, because if my conversion rate is say 1%, whether or not there are 100 people or 200 people or 1,000 people, my conversion rate is going to stay the same. That's what statistics say, right? And so even if you have 1,000 people standing in front of you, or you have an audience of 1,000 people, if you are not converting people at a higher percentage, it doesn't matter how many people you have, you're still going to just have that 1%. So our objective is to increase our conversion rate. So if I can go from 1% to 5%, or from 1% to 10%, that means out of 100 people, I've converted 10 people. And so we need to understand, when I do something, what is my conversion rate? Okay, so I spoke to 10 people today, right? We've all been tasked with networking with 5 people. I spoke with 5 people today. Out of those 5 people, I was able to business 1 person, right? So that's what, 25%. Okay, not bad. Do I need to speak to more people? Possibly. I'll probably speak to 10 people. I'll get another 2 people, maybe 25%. But if I improve my messaging, if I speak better about my product, right? If I do more product demonstrations, if I give people more guarantees, if I'm able to better explain what I'm doing, now I can speak to the same 5 people and 1 other person will convert. So now instead of 1 person out of 5, I'm actually getting 2 people out of 5. And 1% out of 5 is not 25%, it's 20%, but you know what I mean, right? So now my conversion rate is higher. And so those are the numbers as far as your business is gonna, So improving your conversion equals more revenue with the same amount of traffic. So you've got 100 people. Now, instead of getting 1 person, you're getting 2 people, still the same amount of people. You don't need more people. You need to improve on the offering that you have, on the messaging that you on the messaging, right? So now you're saying, okay, Nyaki, I sell cakes, but I actually sell sugar-free cakes for people with diabetes. I still sell cakes, but now everybody's got diabetes. Like, okay, these are cakes that I want. I haven't done anything. I've just improved the messaging of my message. Okay. So this talks to conversion rate optimization. Anybody who knows anything about the internet talks about conversion rate optimization. And there's different strategies and tactics and a lot of different things that you can do as far as conversion rate optimization goes. You can Google them, but it's to say, what am I doing? And I just gave you a perfect example now, is to say, what am I doing to improve the conversion of my customer? Because a lot of us don't need more customers. We need to get better talking to the customers that we already have. Make sense? Okay, I think I might be done. Okay, 4 things. So number 1, track your CAC because it allows you to control your costs. So these are your customer acquisition costs, right? How much does it cost you to acquire a customer? How much does it cost you to take the girl on a date? And then when you're on a date, what are you offering her when you are there? Then know your the lifetime value of your customer, because this allows you to predict revenue. If F&B knows that if they can get 100 students, they're probably going to have 50 private bankers by the end of in 5 years' time. That is how they are able to cash flow, right? If you know that there are cakes, 10 people that buy cakes, I can upsell 20% of those people to buy other things in my business. And then the third last number is optimize conversions for growth. Conversions are going to be as a business, I don't want to say you need to get obsessed about this, but you should get obsessed about this. Get obsessed with how you are converting. Because it helps you address the inefficiencies in your business, right? If I'm spending 100 Rand doing something, does it bring money in? If it doesn't, why would I continue to spend that money? And if it does bring money, is there a way that I can spend maybe less money to do the same, to bring in the same amount of, to bring the same results, right? So I close here and I say the key is to know your numbers, right? Questions?
Is this on? Hello. Let's start Tshabangu. Hello. Are we on? Yes, we're on. Thank you so much, Nyaki. Wow, even my brain, I'm busy writing and computing and whatnot. Let's start Tshabangu.
Okay.
If there's a question you're not sure to ask or it's not gonna land, just ask and we'll figure it out. I think I'll just encourage that with your questions there. And then Monaka has Fala, just introduce yourself and get to the question. All right, I saw some hands. I'm sure the team will bring some microphones. There they are at the back. Let's go to this lady with it's Rilo. It is Rilo, right? You're going to be my person the whole day.
Rilo.
Please stand, it's on. Yeah.
Yes, I just wanted to know, can you please give me a practical way of measuring my dating process? Because I feel yes, I know I need to date the person. I'm into 2 different things. I'm into construction as well as making of things.
Hi.
So yes, if you maybe can give me
how to date your customer?
Yes, practically.
Okay, let's do practical dating. What construction do you do?
I'm still new in my construction, so I do the designing of plans and the actual building. It's just
Yonke.
Yes.
How?
What?
You can't do everything. Everything.
Yes.
From plans to building.
Here's the thing. I'm a civil engineer. My brother is an architect.
Okay.
So he does the
Yeah, there you go. So you've
and
got
then-
your...
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. I do construction, so we're in the same...
We are in the same.
We are in the same. Okay. Okay, so how do you date your customer? Practical example. Okay, perfect example. So you do the plans, right? So you'll do the plans. So I'm assuming this is how people find you. So maybe you put something on your WhatsApp status or something and you just say, or wherever, you put on Facebook group or put a poster at the spa, right? And you put a poster on the spa and it says, hey, looking for house renovations, okay? Give me a call. Here's a number. Someone will call. Ultimately, as a build professional, you know that when someone gives you a call, they are coming for two things. Either they want right now, like they're ready to build, or they're still in the inquiry stage, right? And a lot of us we're just trying to see what the price is, okay? So give me a call, I'll give you a cost estimate, right? And my cost is going to be, I'll give you a cost estimate for 500 Rand. We just do a rough sketch. Yes, ma'am.
In what you're saying, can you please also tell me how to extract the track?
Yes, I will do that. I'll do that. It's a good example. Okay, so we put a poster. The poster cost me 10 Rand. Okay. Then the customer phones me and the customer says, okay, Nyaki, hi. So I'm building in Kimberley and I need house plans built or I need whatever. So then you drive to Kimberley. Costs you 100 Rand to drive to Kimberley. We spent a poster and we spent 100 Rand on the petrol. And it costs your time as well. Let's make your time 100 Rand. So what's that? 210 Rand. It's cost you to give the customer a quote. Okay? And you do your plans and blah, blah, blah. Okay, this is the outcome of the thing. Then what happens? The customer says, okay, cool. I'm not ready just yet. What then happens? For a lot of us, we're just like, this person's never going to buy from me again. Right? What you need to do is, I've already put in the effort. I've already spent 200 Rand on this customer. I need to be following up. So on the initial thing is say, okay, if you're not ready right now, at what, like how far along in this thing are you going to be? Are you still at the budgeting phase? Are you still on the planning phase? Or are you doing like a 3 tendering process? If they're not doing a 3 tendering process or they're doing, just checking, I'm planning, budgeting. Okay, so how long is this process? How long do you estimate is going to take? Okay, maybe 3 months. My responsibility at month 2.5. Hi, Huri. It's Nyaki. So remember I did that costing estimate for you. Would you like me to revise the quote? Or would you like to meet up again and we can revise the drawings? Maybe there's something that you've changed. Okay, I don't remember giving you my number, but okay, right? Yeah, here's your building plans. Now we're dating, right? Okay, back and forth. Oh, but when I'm going to come with you, I'm actually going to bring my brother who's also going to bring you a cost estimate on the building or on the new technology that we have, new roofing technology that's going to keep your house super cool, right? You're giving this person information, which is something that nobody else is going to do. This is why I would choose you as the guy as opposed to the other guy, because he's doing something for me that I'm not going to be able to do. And then she says, okay, cool, but still not quite ready. 2.5 months later, hi Nyaki, checking in again. Are you still available? Is this something that you're still going to do? Yes, obviously, it could take a year to do this, and which is why we build automations to do it. We don't have to physically do it all the time, but you can put in your diary and set a reminder every 2 months to check on the person. It's not something that's difficult to do, but that's how you would date your customer from a quotation point of view. You quoted someone. You've put in the effort. It's already costed you 210 Rand to get this quotation. Follow up with the person. Follow up and nurture the relationship. Oh, Nyaki, I just saw this. I saw land in Bloemfontein is going super cheap. I know you're building. Have you considered this area? So there's certain things that in our business that, yes, may not have a direct return on, they're not a linear transaction in terms of this is the thing that I'm buying, but they do add to the customer relationship. They add to the nurturing process. We call it nurturing, right? They add to the nurturing process that we need to do as part of the nurturing that we have to do. So let me go back to the cake lady again. So the cake lady, the nice thing with cake ladies is that they're usually local. Does anybody have a cake business here?
Yes.
Okay, cool. There we go. So the nice thing with the cake lady is that they're usually local businesses, right? Everybody kind of knows you. But that means you also know everybody. And so you know when people are passing on, you know when people are getting married. So for me, it's just to say every time you hear of like Lifu, you're just like, oh, Huri, I heard Lilatletse. Here's a bucket of scones. And I mean, like you send a tin, it costs you what? 100 Rand to send a tin of buckets? You don't think they're going to order 400 cakes from you? Right? But it's for you to keep your ear on the ground to say, oh no, Hurisan is dating. Yo, Mahadi. Right? Oh, there's a wedding, Hamamangmang. They haven't hired you as a vendor, but congratulations on your nuptials. Right? That's what I'm talking about. So they aren't directly, and obviously it's a cost, but when we talk about your customer acquisition cost, which I was talking about your CAC, right, is to say all of those costs, all of those cakes, those free samplers that you're giving to people count as part of your acquisition cost. Because even if you're not going to get that customer from, and you get your little marketing, and she said you've got who does marketing, who does printing here? You've got the lady who does the buckets, and you put a little card and you say, Huri, well done on your impending nuptials. My name is Nyaki, I do cakes. If you need a cake lady, here it is, and here's a 10% discount just because you're awesome. Right? It doesn't have to be complicated things, especially local business. I love local businesses, guys. I ran a coffee shop or a restaurant with my husband. The first thing we did when we got married, most people get pregnant, we just bought a restaurant. We were like, yeah, let's go into business. Let's have staff. Crazy people. But the nice thing with local business is that you're able to build relationships with people. It was maybe a 30-seater restaurant, but there was a table consistently of the same people. We call them our rent payers. Because if we kept those people happy, we knew our rent was going to get paid. And so what was our role? Every day, when Jules walks in, she's like, oh, Nyaki, the milk. Get the milk for Jules. We need to make sure that Jules has the right milk. The other customers, yes, they're great. We love having new customers. Obviously, we need new customers. But Jules and Chris's table needs to be serviced because it speaks to my CAC, my customer acquisition cost. Happy? Happy. Another question at the back there.
Greetings, Dumelang.
Hey.
My name is Princess.
Hi, Princess.
Hi, Nyaki. I wanted to find out, actually ask you about the first thing that you mentioned when you graced the stage this morning. You said to us that you were e-commerce Ricky.
Yes.
And you made your first milli in 6 months. What were you selling? And are you also able to tell us or give us at least the top 3 steps that you took to ensuring that happens?
Okay, so I'm going to be truthful with you. I was selling boxes. I was selling cardboard. I knew this question was going to come up, but I was like prepared. I was like, yeah, I was selling boxes. So I founded a company called Natural Hair Co. Out of a need for, I don't know if you guys remember, like there was a year where everybody decided, no more relaxer, like krakuta, kaufela. All when cheese got, we cut our hair, no more, none of these processed chemicals. And then it was like, okay, what do we do with our hair? And the Clicks had 5 products. One of them was black like me. The other one had dust all over it. And so people started creating products. I'm sure you guys know about this. I'm seeing the lady with the afro nodding here, right? We all started making bodishea bata, what. This is before like country was even in the country, guys, like way before. And I realized while I was doing this, other people, this is like 2013. So while I realized that I was on my natural hair journey, other people were also trying to learn how to take care of their hair and so I built a community around it. So now you're asking me one of the things. So the first thing is going to be community. If you want to do anything in business, find your people. Find your people. Find the people who want the thing that you want. Find the people who like the thing that you like. Find the people who are interested in the thing that you did, that you are interested in. So I found my people and I found them on the internet. I love the internet. I found them on Facebook groups. I love Facebook groups. I created a Facebook group. And we just started chatting. Just, Oh, how do you take care of your hair? What do you use? Blah, 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 blah. All of that stuff. Progressing a few, and then so we'd also do meetups. So we'd have events like this. I say like this. We started off with like, the first event we had was like, say 100 people. Like, whoa, why are you guys all here? No, we saw you on the internet. Oh, wow, okay. Then the next event we had was about 200 people. Whoa, there's so many people all on the internet. And then the next event was supposed to be 1,000 people, sponsors and all of that stuff. And then Mr. President said, my fellow South Africans, effective immediately, no. And in that time, what was happening is because people were building, or people had products where they were selling, their own little products, I would call them homemade situations. People were doing like shea butter and African black soap and selling products, basically products. But retailers weren't allowing people to sell. I mean, you can't go to Clicks and say, okay, here's my 100 products. I want you to sell them. And so I identified a gap in the market in that I built this community of people who wanted to take care of their hair, wanted to do better, wanted to learn how to do stuff. And then there were these other people on the fringes who were making products, right? But then the retailers were not playing ball. And so I was like, okay, friend, you've got products. Friend, you need products. Why don't I sell you a box, literally, of these products and deliver them to your door? And that's what I did. So I found suppliers of people who were creating products. So Bo Masori Organics, Bo Nilotica, Bo Afro Botanics, those people. And this already very thriving, but it was just women who just want to women, men and children, I suppose, who want to take care of their hair, and was a go-betweener between that. So I created something called the Wash Day Box, literally sold in 6 months, R1 million. I think we grossed 2.5 million rand that year. But the idea and the three things that we did, the three things that I did is, number one, I found community, I found people, I plugged in, I spoke to people. Like, I don't know, some of us as business owners, especially because of social media, we're just like, no, I posted it on the internet, it'll happen. No, it won't. It doesn't work like that. Literally, I was DMing people saying, oh my gosh, I love your hair. I have this product, or I have this thing called the Wash Day Box, or I have this community, you should join our Facebook group, right? Literally hundreds of people every day DMing people. So that's what happened. So find community. Number one is to find a need, right? If you are an entrepreneur, you are solving a need. You're solving a problem. If you can't properly articulate what that problem is and be the right person to solve it, you're not going to make money. Nobody wants your thing. I can tell you for sure nobody wants your thing, because it's not a problem. And a problem is something that is, when you wake up at 3 o'clock in the morning, that's a problem. The things that are causing people anxiety, those are problems. And so if you can lean into those problems, then that's what you can do. And sometimes it's about articulating it, right? So at the time, the problem that I was solving for was, one of the problems was people didn't know how to style their hair. It's like, you've cut your hair, it's done, now how are you going to style it? Because a lot of us weren't taught how to style our natural hair. I was 25 years old. I'd never seen my hair, like my natural hair growing out of it. I always had a relaxer or braids or whatever. And so that was the need that I identified. And then the third thing is be passionate about the thing that you're doing, because it does get boring. It gets really boring. So if you are, people will say like, know your why, but if you know and understand inherently why you're doing this thing, even when it gets boring, you can keep going. Because how many times can I tell someone to wash their hair? I did that for like years. It's like, yeah, wash your hair. And then after you wash your hair, put conditioner. And then after you put conditioner, you must put moisturizer. Okay, but then every day you must wash, on Monday you must wash, like, it gets boring. And that's the problem sometimes with business. It's like, how many times can I tell people about these scones? It's flour, eggs, sugar, milk. They're scones. Just eat them. They're scones. They're just scones, right? But it is about like just understanding inherently what it is what we're doing. Helpful?
Yeah, really.
Questions? Another question. Oh, more questions. The scone lady. I'm so sorry for. She sells scones.
Last two, ne? Yeah.
There we go. Sorry, guys.
Okay, I own a bakery, but what I do mostly is bread. I sell bread.
Oh, bread.
Yes. So
What kind of bread? No. You see, I sell glucose bread. Glucose. Yeah, but anyway, continue.
Definitely one that people consume.
Okay.
But I sell it to people who sales come by God.
Okay.
Yes. So I have this customer, there are those people who take advantage of you. So I wanna fix that to stop him from taking advantage of me. But I don't wanna sound horrible or anything. So I wanted to ask, how do I fix that?
How do you fix customers taking advantage of you?
Yes.
Block. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. You want their money. You still need their money. Don't block them. I don't know. I don't know the answer. Don't block them. So I think ultimately with any customer, and I suppose it's your customer service, right? Customer service is probably the most important thing. So my parents are in business, and one of their businesses was customer service. Like that's what they if you ask the one what they did is that they did customer service. And customer service is great. I was saying I was going to come back to raving fans, right? Why raving fans? It's because the ultimate goal of your business, let me leave you with this. The ultimate goal of your business is to turn a stranger out in the world into a customer and then ultimately a raving fan. Why? Because raving fans tell other people. And then they tell more people. And then those people buy from you. What that does ultimately is that it reduces the cost of acquisition of your customer, because these two people came in on that guy's bill. So that 132 Rand that cost you to acquire a customer is actually spread along those people. So give friend a referral and be like, Chomi, you're bothering me, but tell 5 people about my business and I'll give you your bread for free.
Yes. Yeah.
Raving fans. And he'll do it. Right?
And he also humble himself.
Yeah, or block him. Just block. Block and delete. Okay, was this helpful? Oh, one more. Hey. Hi, Palisa.
The product ascension thing.
Yes, ma'am.
You said sometimes you don't need more customers.
Yes.
You can just sell more products
Yes.
to the customers you already have. Now, you don't need to the level where you can't do everything.
Yeah.
You can't sell everything.
Yeah.
Now, business thing here, beauty, right? Maybe I'm selling hair, and then we decide that the customer let me also sell skincare products. Let me sell combs. Let me sell, all sorts of particularly beauty. How do I not lose myself couple of businesses direction?
Got product ascension. Yeah. Exactly. Okay. So you sell hair, right? Like you wigs, ne?
Yeah.
Do you offer wig washing services?
Yes.
Okay. Do you offer wig styling services?
Yeah.
Do you offer wig maintenance services? Yeah. That's how you product ascend. So you're on the right track, right? So I get your question is to say, okay, I'm already doing all of these things. How do I ascend the product? And it's to say, okay, if someone bought a 300, I don't know how much a weave costs these days, but someone bought you a 300 Rand weave, and that weave, say your customer acquisition is 200 Rand, right? So it costs you 200 Rand to get that customer. So you make 100 Rand profit or whatever. It's not very profitable, but it's fine. The services that you offer over and above that initial purchase is your product ascension. And so it's the washing, it's the maintenance, it's the come back after 6 months and I'll fix it up or cut it up or something. But I will also sell you the cream that goes with the wig. And I know what you're asking is to say, like, how do you not become that person who's now a retail, you become like a tuck shop of hair. I get that. What is I think that's me. That's my answer. I think I answered correctly. Yeah, it's the added services. It's the added services. I think at that point you may need more customers. Like if you've already done the added services, then you may need more customers. But a lot of us are not doing the added services. We're like, we sell wigs and that's it. And then we want to sell combs and then we want to sell something. And I'm saying before you get into the combs, do the wash, do the trimming, do the maintenance so that that person keeps coming back for this one thing. Yes, ma'am.
So there's actually nothing wrong with selling other stuff.
Yeah.
As long as delay.
Yes.
This one.
Yeah. 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 I mean, your products are complementary, right? So I said I was selling boxes. I was selling a box, but what we did with Natural Hair Co. actually is that we started retailing products like in between, and then I realized there was actually a gap in between the service offerings, that people were selling products, yes, and people were looking for products, so then people were going to clicks for like things like combs and like non-perishables. So I imported a whole bunch of scissors, made so much money selling scissors, guys. Wow, I made so much money selling scissors. Hair scissors, sell hair scissors, add hair scissors. So I imported some hair scissors, some combs, some towels, some non-perishable things. Things that my retailers, so I wasn't a competitor to them, weren't selling as an ancillary offering to what they were buying. And so when people would buy a shampoo and a conditioner and a mousse, add a pair of hair scissors. Done. So you see how yeah. Okay. Yes.
Hi.
Hi.
You know, in a relationship, there's a nagger.
There's a nagger.
Yeah.
I don't know this person. I'm not this person.
Is it an indefinite thing? How long should I nag? Do you stop nagging and when? You know, I sell natural soy wax candles.
Yes.
And then there's a customer. When I say customer, in a way, because you get a call. I saw this. It's lovely. I love it. I want it. But then it's a dating process, right?
Yes.
Yeah. And then show me what else do you offer?
Yeah.
We're still dating, and along the way, you see, you've gone to 10 days now, just talking, even not meeting.
Yeah.
On the phone. I will order 20 of this design.
Yeah.
Every week. I think I will also add this color. You know what I mean? So how long do you get to now nurture this dating process?
Hey, some of us date for 15 years without Mahaji, eh? Some of us are there, just like, no, he will propose someday. I'm just holding on. Yeah, no, I do think I get what you're saying. I do think there does come a point where you're just like, a person's not going to be a customer, but understanding what your buyer's cycle is important, right? So for a building project, someone does take 5 years to decide whether or not they're going to build, but someone doesn't need 6 months to decide whether they're going to buy a candle or not, right? So that's the first thing. So understand what your product is. It is obviously like it's a purchasing decision. It's a purchasing power thing, number one. But also, I think number two is, I had a really good thought. Allowable acquisition cost. Yes, Kopano. Yes. How much? So like, how much are you like? How much can you spend on this person? Like, is the data that you're using on this person? Is it good?
You spend a lot because every time you have to show them this, what you can do.
Yes.
You spend on it because you package
Problems.
also, hey?
Yes.
To make it that lovely. The word is lovely.
Yes.
It's so lovely. To make it lovely, you spend on it.
Yeah, so allowable acquisition cost, that's another one we should have put on the clicker. So it's basically to say, like, how much can you spend on this person? And there does come a point where at that 132 Rand, at 200 Rand, if I'm spending 200 Rand to acquire you as a customer, you're no longer profitable for me at all. Like, at all. Even if I sell you something, at this point, it's costing me money to sell you something. Right? So find out what that number is, or at least and sometimes it's not an actual number, sometimes it's just a feeling, sometimes you're just like, yeah. Yeah. So that's the first thing. But then the second thing is that if you are inherently solving a problem, people will come to you. So communicate what problem you are solving. Whether it's for tension, right? I sell these aromatherapy things because for the pollen in the air, it's going to make, when the pollen in the air strikes, they're going to come to you. Right? Helpful.
Super. Thank you so much. A round of applause for Nyaki. That was incredibly valuable.